Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're connecting from. I'm so excited to have you on this show today, Money Matters Live, where we bring people who come to, empower us by helping us to get financially literate. We learn financial planning and financial discipline. And yet, this is just a movement to, help educate people on how, they can empower themselves in better ways, how they can save, use their savings in other investment vehicles they can, yield for them passively while they're not working actively. And also life insurance, health insurance, businesses we can do in the 21st century, and how to get your business in the front of the people who need them. And so today I have a special guest with me. Her name is Modupe Otusan. But before I bring her on board, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Sandra Uko. I'm a Master Leadership Certified Team Member, an IT sales expert of over 20 years. I'm a member of the Toastmasters as a Vice President of Public Relations and also a best-selling author. I just got the Presidential Lifetime Award. I'm excited and I'm grateful for life. And I know that it's almost to the end of the year. A lot of people are looking at, oh, what have I done right? What have I not done? I'll be having a training coming up next week. And it's talking about life audit. You need to do a life audit, find out where you are now, find out where you want to be tomorrow, find out the things you need to put together in order for you to be able to reach your destined goal or target. So today we have a guest who will be taking us on Money Matters Live, Modupe Otusan. The next person you get to see is Modupe herself. I'm so excited to have her on the stage. So, so great to have you, ma'am.
Hi, how you doing, Miss Sandra? I'm
Very
honored
good.
to be here this morning. How you doing?
Very good. Very good. And happy Thanksgiving. I'm sure we just, yesterday was Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. We're very thankful. We're filled with gratitude for all
It's a
God
month
has
of
done.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Exactly. Happy
And I
Thanksgiving to
think if
everyone out there.
that's a very great culture for America. And I think if other countries can embrace it, being thankful bring about multiplication.
It
In
does.
thanking God for the things you have. And when I heard the history of how Thanksgiving came into being and why they started doing it in November, and it's been, and I was told that it was in the midst of a turbulent situation. It was in the midst of people dying, and they still thought of thanking God, which is awesome. You hardly find people say thank you to people when they're going through painful moments. But for United States of America to be doing this, it's a great one, and I think every other country should embrace it.
It's a brilliant one. Since I've stepped my foot onto the soil of the country, I mean, I've seen that it's one of the big culture when you find out that every single industry is shut off just to be able to observe that time.
Oh my
Families come
God!
together, right? They gather around
Yeah,
the dinner table, they pray together, they just reflect, right? It's a time of sincere reflection of how things have been for them and where they see themselves going. Do nothing but just to give thanks. And you know how they say, right? That, I mean, if I don't give thanks for something you've just done for me right now, guess what? I have no right to expect that you will get something across me the next time, right? That we come
yeah,
in
yeah.
contact. So we always have to be very conscious of it, teach that to our little ones so that we can continue to carry on the culture as we go,
No, that's a
through the
great one.
journey.
It's a great concept, great culture,
Mhm.
great
I agree.
point. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's just go back to our topic. The reason why we're here. I am so excited to have you because I know you're a skillful person when it comes to finances, empowerment, and I just thought that it would be a good one to have you on this show so that people can glean from you, learn from you, and know how you're making it. When you told there's something you told me recently that I was like, wow, this is a very great mindset, and I wanted to share it on this platform so that others can glean and learn from you.
Thank you so much, Miss Sandra. Thanks for all the great work you're doing. I see you bringing, very talented subject matter expert every now and then, just because you want to impact your community.
Yes,
That
ma'am.
that's a long it's a big deal. It's a big deal because not
Thank you.
only, right, are you using your platform to be a blessing, but you're impacting. You'll be shocked at how many people are being impacted, right? And so before I address that, I just want like to give a little intro about who I am. I'm a
Yeah.
Nigerian American. I reside here in California with my family. Um, I'm a fellow chartered accountant. I'm a certified tax professional. I'm a tax strategist, for lack of better word. And of course, I'm licensed, right? I'm a licensed financial professional. I'm out there to teach people how money works. I'm sure everybody likes the subject matter money, right?
Yeah, we do.
So I'm out there to teach people not just how money works. I teach them how can they accumulate their money, teach people how can they protect their money. And when it's time for them to start getting this money from wherever vehicle they have it, it's very, very important they understand how they are distributing those funds. So that's literally what I do. I enjoy what I do a lot because I had to find out, very later part in my career. I mean, I'm still very young and I've been in the corporate world for 2 decades yet counting. And I found out that, Miss Sandra, financial literacy is never taught in the four walls of the classroom. That is
True.
so that is so embarrassing if you ask me. Because I sat down and I'm like, wait a minute, did they ever teach us this in the classroom? And I found out that our curriculums missed that particular part. And that is very, very essential. So a lot of us are so learned. We're very, very versatile when it comes to certain
Yeah.
things, but
Yeah.
not when it comes to money matters.
Yeah.
And
IT
that's,
savvy.
I tell you,
We have
I
all
tell
the
you.
accolades and all the degrees.
But we don't have that. And guess what? That it just breaks it off. And that has been my passion and my crusade to just say, you know what? I want to touch lives just like you are touching lives using your platform. I want to go out there to the world and speak to every single individual, right? Who
Yeah.
gives me a listening here, gives me their audience, and teach them how money works. Guess what Warren Buffett says? Everybody knows who this person is, right? And he says, never forget, right? Never forget the rule of money. And people were like, okay, what is it? He said, never, rule number one, never lose money. Never lose money. They were like, so what's the rule number two? He said, never forget rule number one. That is to tell you how very, very important this subject is. Even a person of his caliber is still talking about losing money. Ask those of us listening to us right now, or we'll catch up on this replay later. If I ask you, viewers, would you love to lose money? Would you literally just work so hard for your money with intention that I'm going to lose this money? Nobody in their right senses wants to lose money. But I can
No.
tell you for a fact, and I can tell you for free that guess what? When things are not put in place, it's either we're losing money to market volatility, it's either we're losing money to inflation, or it's either we're losing money to taxation. And guess what? There are ways to go around that and make sure it's working. So if I still have the floor, Miss Sandra, I'm going to dive down and explain what I call the three rules of money. Do I have the floor?
No, you have the permission to do it, ma'am.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I like to tell people that in life, whatever it is you find yourself doing, it's always guided by principles. Now, when you miss the principle that is governing a particular thing you're positioned for, you're just heading to the wrong side of the bridge. Now, so just like every games, every sport, right? Whatever it is we're doing, have their rules and regulations. I literally call it rule of engagement. So when we don't understand the rule of engagement of a particular thing we're, into, then we're just heading for destruction. And guess what? Not everybody literally plan out to go fail, but people fail to plan. Okay, so just again, money being a subject matter has certain rules. A lot of us don't know. Number one rule, it's in the accumulation phase. Okay. Number two rule is in what? The protection phase. And then the very last one is in the distribution phase. I'm going to go right in and break them down. When I say the accumulation phase, What I'm saying in layman language to all of our viewers out there, we're not out here to, confuse you, but we want to make sure that we leave an opportunity for you to go with the value to, change things around and make things better for your finances going forward. Now, when I say the accumulation phase, it actually literally means that what are you doing? What am I doing currently right now with your hard earned resources that is ensuring that your money is growing? And that is going to be dependent upon what vehicle do you have your money per time. Okay, so now if you have your money in a particular bucket that is yielding maybe 1%, another giving you 2%, 3%, 4%, whatever it is, guess what Rule 72 says? It says the interest rate that a particular vehicle does generate. If you take 72 and you divide it by that interest rate, I can literally tell you how long your initial capital invested is going to double. So if I put my money in a vehicle that is only yielding 2%, take for instance, I put in $10,000 in a vehicle that's only giving me 2% in return. 72 divided by 2 literally gives me what? 36. 36. It means that my 10,000 capital invested will double in 36 years.
Wow, that's a long
Right?
time.
Every 36 years. So what am I saying in essence? If I actually go ahead in the same vein and I put it in a vehicle, I'm savvy enough, I found a vehicle that's able to yield 12%. Okay? I'm just going to take again 72 divided by 12. All right? And that will determine how long my money is going to double.
That's in
Are you
6 years.
still with me? And
Yeah.
so, yeah. So again, you will see that my 1% and my 12%, my 12% is way better because I will get the doubling faster. Now,
Sure.
that is my accumulation phase. So it is very, very important for every single individual. We have responsibility for our finances. Some of us will say, oh, yeah, I put my money in the bank is going to take care of it. No, you also need to take charge and be
Yeah.
financially responsible. What vehicle do you have your money per time determines how much or how fast it's going to double. The other phase I talked about is the protection phase. Now, whatever vehicle you put your money per time will determine if your money is literally being protected or it is not. And there are just three types. Okay. It's either you're putting your money in a fixed vehicle, in a variable vehicle, or what I call the indexed vehicle. When you put your money in a fixed vehicle, okay, what does fixed sound to you? Meaning it's stable, right? It's
Yeah.
just a straight line. Straight line. That's it. Straight line. For those of us that are health practitioners and you're plugged in here, our viewers, either you're here right now or you catch up on the replay, anytime you see a straight line, a patient being brought into the hospital with a straight line, right, on the EKG, what does that tell you? Dead on arrival. So it's a similar concept. You put money in a vehicle and it's just fixed. Guess what? You're not getting anything in return. It's just there, static, not moving. Now, when we go to the variable bucket goes up and down, up and down. What does that tell you? It tells me something is not stable. It
Yeah.
tells me something is just moving up and down. It goes high and then decides to come down. So you literally don't have control of what might be, and I call it hypertension.
True.
Hypertension. Why would you work so hard for your money with the intention that, oh, yeah, I'm just going to put it here and you put it to gambling? That also determines how far you want to go. A lot of people will say, yeah, it's okay. I love the variable market. I'm going to put my money in stocks and cryptos and all of those great stuff. Oh, I know it's going to go high. When it comes down, it's fine. It's going to pick back up. The question I asked them, are you looking at the average return or you're looking at the actual return? Because in reality, if you determine the actual return, you're losing money, my friend. You
True.
are. You are. Don't forget what I said, Warren Buffett said. Never lose money. Somebody as savvy, wealthy, of his caliber saying that. What is wrong with you and I that we can't go and take the rule by the bull, right? And make sure we're working towards that.
True.
Now, the last vehicle is what I call the indexed. The index is an hybrid between the fixed and the variable. The indexed vehicle bucket, what have you, goes up, partakes in the gains of the market. Well, guess what? Because the stock market is variable, that's how it was designed. There's no point you changing the wheel. That's how it's part of the design.
True.
So it will come down. So guess what happens? It goes up. And in the event that the market, experiences some downturns, it locks to zero. It partakes in all of the gains of the market, but never participates in the downturns of the market. How would you love that, folks? Would you rather put
Awesome.
your money in a fixed, variable, or indexed?
Index all the way.
That's what I say. I say indexed every day, twice on a weekend. That's what I want to put my money. That's where I want to educate people on how they could leverage those vehicles to their own advantage. And you don't need to start when you have those millions. You can literally start wherever you are right now. It's a
Sure.
mindset. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. When you begin to take ownership of what you call your finances, things are just going to go ahead and turn around. You are eager to learn, right? Constantly learning. Miss Sandra is always bringing subject matter expert here. I mean, she does brilliant stuff, right, to our community. And I see her using this platform to just be a blessing. That's what I call it. She's just pointing out there being a blessing. Guess what the third rule is, people? I said that's your distribution phase. Whether we like it in life, there are stages, right? There was a time we were born as a baby. We started crawling,
True.
walking, going to school. Now we also got into the labor market, or maybe we are also even, provider of the same labor as
True.
entrepreneurs. And guess what? We're going to grow. Then we retire. Now we're getting old. Whether we like it or not, every single person will pass through this milestone. So there will
True.
come the time that my hard-earned money, hard-earned resources needs now to be used. We call it in the world of finance distribution, meaning now I want to distribute. I want to take money out. If you are that person that has had your money in the fixed, of course, the answer is not far-fetched. You know what it is that's going to be
You'll
left
be
for you,
broke.
right? Now, other than the fact that what do we have left? Another very crucial thing is during the distribution phase, how much of your money left, right? Your balance, how much of this is taxable? How much of this is taxable? I said three things at the beginning of this talk. I said whether we like it or not, there are three factors that will diminish our money: market volatility, inflation, as well as taxation. So at that point in time that you are now ready to take your money, how much of this is taxable? If you have it in the fixed, guess what? You're being taxed now, now. So what are the types of the fixed vehicle? My bank account, my checking savings account, a little bit about money market. Those are the things I'll find there, right? You're being taxed on that money now. And that is why you find out that for those of us in any of the 50 states, right, where, you put money in a savings account in any of your bank, and you do accrue interest. At the end of the year, you will get something called 1099 INT from your bank, which is your interest statement. You're expected by law to include that in your tax return. You're being taxed right now. If we move to the variable bucket again, what happens there? Right? What happens there? You will find out that if you had invested things in stocks and all of those good stuff, you're going to be also taxed now because it's part of, you're going to get a statement that is if indeed you did sell out those stocks, right, for a particular proceeds in return and all of those stuff. And, there are greater, deeper conversations to that. Now, it's either you're taxed now, you're taxed later, or you are taxed never. Which would you like, viewers, to be taxed now, taxed later, or taxed never? You're to be taxed never. And Miss Sandra says she would love to be taxed there. I think I see quite a few people saying, they're going to be taxed. They would prefer to be taxed never. This is how I like to say it, right? If indeed you've paid your fair share of taxes, right? I think there is a way for you to manage that front. There is a way to manage that front. As long as it's not tax avoidance, because that is criminal. Guess what? As long as the tax code allows this, why not? If the wealthy, the 5 percentile in the population are leveraging this, what is wrong with the remaining 95%? And that is where I come in. I teach people how to minimize their tax exposure. And how can you minimize your tax exposure? It's primarily dependent on what vehicles do you have your money per time. So if you have it in money market and all of those, you're taxed right now. Now, if you have it in some qualified plans, retirement plan, 401k, TSP, 403b, 457, depending on which of the parastatals you work with, you will be taxed later. Let me ask you, do you think taxes are going to be higher later or they're going to be lower? Some people are like, they don't know. Some people say higher. Guess what? If you said higher, you're right on the money. Because right now, taxes is at the lowest in the history of taxation. In 1944, you can look that up. Taxes was as high as 90%. In 1978, it was 70%. That was the highest tax bracket. Right now, as I speak to you, 2023, the highest tax bracket is 37%. So let me ask you, you'll go figure. Do you think tax is going to be higher or lower? It's definitely going to be higher. So you pick your choice. You like to be taxed now, later, or never. Some people will say, oh, really? Never? Absolutely. There are some vehicles you can have your money in that you'll never be taxed on. There are quite a few of them. Part of them, the greatest of them, like executive bonus plans for business owners. Another I call the cash value life insurance policy. It's an index strategy that it's using, right? And then Roth IRA to some extent, but not as great as you can have in your cash value life insurance policies, executive bonus plans, and all of those great stuff. So I just covered the 3 rules of money, okay? Accumulation phase, protection phase, and distribution phase. If you're listening to us out here right now, and you hear me say that, you probably can say, oh yeah, I have my financial advisor working with me and all of that. My question to you is, which of these phases is your financial advisor currently working with you on? Which of these phases is your financial advisor currently working with you on? And if you have further questions regarding these areas, what can you do better? How can you go with this? Guess what? Reach out to Miss Sandra. She knows how to find me. I was saying, and just to make sure, we have a better understanding of this whole subject matter. Money sure does matters, which is like the centerpiece of what Miss Sandra would like to bring out to our community always on this platform. Guess what, people? Whether we like it or not, the rules of engagement regarding money needs to be adhered to. How do you want your hard-earned resources accumulated? How would you like for it to be protected? And when it comes times for you to bring it out, would you like to have it taxed now, taxed later, or taxed never? It's real, people. But guess what? If some of you are out there and you said, "Oh, I have financial advisors I'm working with," you know what, this is not a new subject matter to me. I'm doing it already. My question to you is, on which of these phases that I have highlighted is your financial advisor working with you currently? Is it the accumulation phase, the protection phase, or the distribution? If you would like to know more, reach out to Miss Sandra. She knows how to find me. Over to you, Miss Sandra.
Thank you so much, man. That's a great session. Very great. I'm sure you were like,
Thank
oh
you.
my God. And she said a lot. Never lose money. If Warren Buffett could say such a word, someone who is into he has an empire, could say never lose money, then why are we losing money? Why are we not careful about our money and our resources at end, sweat? That's awesome. Never lose money. You spoke about the volatility stages. You spoke about and it was just something else for me, talking about, accumulation stage, the protection stage. And you also spoke about the distribution, where you now start dishing out money to take care of some things. You want to be sure you have some left over. You don't want a situation where you start distributing and as the time comes, fear set in. You're already touching the capital, the money is going, and that's when fear sets in. Like, oh my God, I don't have much left again. But you want an investment vehicle where when you are spending, the money is also increasing. It is never drying up. And like you rightly said, talking about tax, whether you want to be taxed now, later, or never taxed. I will go for never taxed, finding out what investment, no, true, because you find out what investment I can put my money in that will work for me. That that does not mean I'm evading tax. I'm not, because it's criminal to evade tax. But I think you do that you are taxed minimally because you're invested, the money you got and you've invested in other vehicles are probably areas where the tax are not high. And I also find out that the people who are doing great, they're never taxed. The people who like the 500 companies, the Forbes company, they don't tax them. I want to know the reason. Can you explain why they're not being taxed? Is it because they're employer of labor, or why are they being, are not being taxed the way the the people who are still struggling, who are making just six figures, are being taxed are?
That's a very good question. The tax code is running into thousands of pages. Okay. And so the tax code is filled with a whole lot of codes, right? That deals with particular area or the other. And you touched a very vital point. You said business owners, right?
Yeah,
Whether it be the small, the Fortune 500, whatever, as you keep going down the line. Guess what? Because America is a capitalist economy, it favors a whole lot of business ownership. So, which literally means that out of these thousands of pages of the tax codes that we have out there, a lot of it is there for use and in favor of the business owners. So, which literally means that there are a lot of business credit, this deduction, that deduction that they are able to leverage on. And at the end of the day, it's like, wow, my bottom line is secured. All right. And again, it falls to the fact that they know certain things that most of us don't know. So you find the Fortune 500, right? They will be employing, right, services of professionals.
true.
Just like if you have a toothache right now, I'm sure you're not going to take your tooth, right, to the carpenter
Not
to
at
help
all.
you. You're going to take it to a dentist, right? Who is trained to be able to help in that line, right? Who is trained to be able to help you get that in check, in place, right? And
Yeah,
so the same thing happens here when it comes to, um, hmm, the business owners. They are utilizing professionals, they have CPAs, they have certified tax strategies, looking into deductions for them to make sure it's working for them. So they are just not leaving things and you know organizing or putting things in place carelessly, but they're on top of their game, using those various tax codes to their advantage. Don't get me wrong, there's still some crumbs left for us, the individuals, those who are not in a business right now. Guess what? But It's very limited. It's very limited. And that's why I'm going to pitch here right now to everybody listening to us, or we'll catch up on this replay later. You need to find something, right? Find something you're doing to provide solution to people's problem. It just opens you up to another world of entrepreneurship. And when it does, you are now able to leverage on all of those great tax codes out there. Businesses are leveraging a whole lot of them. Individuals could also leverage on quite a few of them, but it's limited. So if you're just a pure six-figure earner, oh my God, I know how much we do, professionals out there listening to us right now, or those taking double, triple shift,
Sure.
it's gonna get a toil on your body. How long can you do that for? Your time is limited. Guess what Peter Getty said? He said that 1% of 100 people's effort
It's
is
greater.
way better than 100% of just
One.
one person's effort. We have a limited time in a day, 24 hours.
True.
It's impossible for you to work in 35 places at the same time.
Mm-mm. Not at
Are you
all.
going to clone? Are you going to clone yourself? Maybe you clone
Even when
yourself,
you do,
right? So the question is, can you find a system that is working? Can you find a business model that you can stay plugged in that saves you time, energy, and money? There are quite a few of them out there. I am constantly pitching that out to folks who are willing to start a business. Folks who are tired of this grind, 9 to 5 grind. At the end of the day, they earn so high, their W2 is looking so pretty, but their pocket is looking very ugly. We need to change the narrative.
true.
Start something for yourself. So I am constantly helping people who are looking for something to start. I'm a licensed financial professional. If you would like to become a financial broker just like myself, I will be committed to show you how in just a matter of time. You
True.
will start doing what I'm doing. There's no need for you to have a degree in finance or in accounting to be able to do this. I see a whole lot of career shift going on right now. People, it just needs your mindset. Just come and be ready to learn. Be ready to say, I want to change the narrative. I want to be that person that will change the last name of my family. So for those companies, which was your primary question, Miss Sandra, they are utilizing heavily the tax code to their advantage. The
Mm.
tax code favors business owners a whole lot. And that's why every single individual, every household needs to start a business. Find a solution to somebody's problem, and you will be compensated for doing that. I am out to say what? I want to help people get to where they want to get to. That is my philosophy about life, Miss Sandra. If I end up getting people to where they want to get to, guess what's going to happen? I will eventually get to where I need to get to. So I put
True.
people first, and I found a platform that is working for me, helping me do this. I am excited, and I'm going out with that same crusade: financial literacy, leadership development. I want every single person salvaged and not, deadened without creating generational wealth for their family.
Awesome, 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 awesome. And that's true. You said it all. We have gone beyond just striving and thriving on our own and being selfish and containing every knowledge and every information. We have gone
Mhm,
to the level of giving out, living a life
mhm,
of significance. If you're not impacting
mhm.
your world, ask yourself, what are you doing here? Why is God
Exactly.
giving you a chance to live? Because the reason why we're here is to empower others, not for ourselves. That's why I said, if you've not started doing something for others, putting others first, you're not yet living.
Mm,
What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want people to say, oh, Modupe did in a time?
mm.
It's not about the houses you have. Somebody else will live in that house. Somebody will wear your clothes. Somebody will wear your shoes and even drive your car. So everything we do, in empowering ourselves and empowering others, leads to eternity. Nothing can take it away from you. Those lives will continue to replicate. And I say, if we all do this to make our world a better place, the world itself will become a better place to live in. Because rather than having only one Modupe, we have thousands of Modupe who are multi-millionaires. And when Modupe is doing something, everybody is ready to just dish out and dish out because Modupe empowered me. So why would I not want to say thank you to her? Like, we're in the season of Thanksgiving, the month of Thanksgiving. I would like, oh my God, Modupe, it's Thanksgiving. What do you like best? And I'm thinking of what to send to her. And if everybody send a jet to Modupe, do you know how many Modupe will get? And how many can she try right at a time? She too will take it and bless others in our own
Mhm.
circle. Life is going to be
Beautiful.
so pleasurable, very
Beautiful.
sweet. It's like living heaven on earth. So I want to let you know that if you're not giving out yet of yourself, you'll be stinking. And that's why we
Mm.
have the Dead Sea and the flowing sea, the river. The Dead Sea only collects and keeps to itself. And that's why,
Mm.
in Africa, we have a mosquito. And you must breathe on stagnant water. Waters that stay in one place. That water stinks because you have a lot of lava, mosquito larva in it. It stinks. But when you flow to others, there's freshness, there's fresh breath, there's new life coming into you. So, like you
Mm.
rightly said, there's really nothing, and every home should have a business. You want to leave that circle of 9 to 5, 9 to 5. You're not there for your husband, you're not there for your family, you're using your health to chase wealth. And when this wealth now comes, the head is already wobbling. And you cannot buy health. You can't buy
Mm.
God to create those parts again. You know, what you sow is what you get in return. You just said it all, and I was like, wow, wow, wow. I'm sure everyone who stumbles on this video, you probably want to reach out to Modupe, you want to reach out to Sandra, you want to find out what you can do. Look around you. God has not created some better than the others. We all have the skills, we have the power to make wealth. So look
Mm.
inward, take some time, quiet all the noise around you. Look inward and find out what you love to do. You can be a good cook, you can know, maybe you know how to make hair, whatever. Just find out what you have been called to do. And that's it. Awesome, 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 awesome. It's like I should just keep you here. We keep talking, but we need to go. But I just hope that when I call you other times, you'll be very available to come with us to share more
Absolutely.
ideas because this is so mind blowing. But because I don't want to keep the video too long than necessary, I like it to be
Mhm.
potent. People go in, take what they want to take, come out. Even if I have to do it in series, it's better than having a
It
very
is.
long video. Thank you
Mhm.
so
I
much,
agree.
Ma. I really, really do appreciate. I don't know if maybe you have a word to say before we call it a day. Any word?
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Miss Sandra. I am so honored. Like I said, I stumbled. I mean, we got connected. I mean, like I like to say, universe brought us each other's way, and I've been. I
Yeah,
mean, what you're doing to the community is a blessing to me, and I know it's a blessing to other people out there. So thank you. Keep impacting the world. Keep being that light. Keep being that light in the midst of darkness. It just gives me a lot of assurance that what a lot of us are out there with a meaning to be able to change our world for the good. So it's just not about the bad news we hear all the time. A lot of us are out there with a mission to impact our world. And so for those of us hearing also, we're going to catch up on this replay later. Guess what? There is something the Bible says. It said, a righteous man leaveth an inheritance for his children's children.
yeah.
Did you ever ask yourself, whatever you're doing right now, it doesn't matter how old you are. Are you in your 20s, in your 30s, 40s, 50s? Are you on a path to ensuring you fulfill that particular
Fun.
scripture?
Yeah.
If not, this particular section was for you. So you can walk towards that. And guess what? You can definitely reach out to myself or Miss Sandra. Reach out to Miss Sandra. She will find me or reach out to me. Either way, we can take this conversation to another level. Another very guiding scriptural notation out there that keeps grinding for me is that the Bible says that above everything in life, He wished that we prosper. What are
Yeah.
you doing right now, sir and ma? My brother, my sister, what are you currently doing right now? Can you beat your chest to say that you're prospering in it? If we are not, guess what? We have not fulfilled that scriptural mandate.
Mm-mm.
And when we show forth before God, our creator, He's going to ask us, did you fulfill the mandate I've asked you to? He said we
Mm.
should multiply, we should be fruitful, we should
Yeah.
dominate. Are you really dominating? If
Good.
not, that is why this conversation was brought out for you. So I'm thankful that Miss Sandra gave this opportunity to me so I could meet one person, two persons, and we could be able to connect and take this to another level.
Awesome.
Let's make a meaning in our community. And God bless us as we do that. God bless you, Miss Sandra. I appreciate
Amen.
this.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. You took it the
Thank
other
you, sis.
route. Without the Trinity, without God being in this thing, we're just
Mm-mm,
working. And
mm-mm,
I said it all. I said, we are made for our calling, not for our career. We're not
mm.
called to pay bills.
Nah.
Yes, whilst doing all that, whilst you're in your calling, making that money, you can take
Mm,
care of other things. So just know that word. I am made for my calling. Find out what
mm.
your calling is. We're not made to just, go to work and come back and sit at home. What is in your hands? You remember when God asked Moses, what do you have in your hands? You have something. Check yourself
Thank
out.
you.
We
Mhm.
all have something. Let's start using that something. Let's start, seeing light in it. Let's start seeing it the way God wants us to see it. And you see that thing you have in your hand that you think was nothing will become that thing that will lift you from where you are to where God wants you to be. Thank you so much, Ma. Modupe, you thrilled me. I'm shaking and I'm excited and
I'm so
dancing.
honored,
I
man.
think I would have to go back to
I'm
this
so
video
honored.
again. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
God is using you too. And I just appreciate your humbleness, your truthfulness of, bringing out the true picture of what is going on.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
man.
much. Let's go all out there. As Modupe
Hmm.
has said, if one blesses one, that chain reaction continues.
It does.
Multiplication. We keep multiplying ourselves. We're called to replenish, be fruitful, multiply, subdue, replenish, and dominate. Let's go out there to dominate. Thank you so much
Okay.
and have a blessed evening. Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
sis.
Till our next episode. Please click, share, like, and it is said that a leader is one who knows it and shares it with others. We are leaders. We know it and we're sharing it with you. So if this has been a blessing to you, please share this with your loved ones. They can be blessed by it too. Thank you so much and have a blessed evening. If you've made it this far into this video, thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe so you can support your girl. Thank you.